All right, Coffee with Coach Rodhe. Today, our topic is going to be track camps, track clinics. I was very fortunate to have a early start at some pretty well-functioning track camps and track clinics. It really helped shape me and give me a foundation of information for my future career. Start things off today, coffee and mug. Normally, I'm drinking out of tankards, and I end up referring to them as mugs down the line. This is a true mug, okay? 1776 United. They make fantastic drinkware. I really like it. Handmade stoneware. This one is a mug size. It's about a normal amount of coffee cup, okay? And for me, it's a little small because I'm a big guy, big hands, right? I love the coloring on this. I love the design. I love the logo 1776 with jointed die snake on there. It's fantastic. The white and blue drip glaze. It's a gorgeous cup. For me though, the opening is a little small for me to get my whole muzzle in there for the big drink of coffee that I want. It's well balanced. It's a great little piece. For comparison, for today, this is their Washington headquarters tankard. Okay, and this one, these hold like over 4 cups of coffee. Okay, this is what I'm normally drinking out of, and then this one is our one today. So we're probably gonna have to do a few refills. I got a refill tank on the side here, so we'll keep it going. We're not gonna run dry. Now I'm a little bit psyched up today, if you can't tell, because I'm drinking CAF from Black Rifle Coffee Company. CAF is, let's say for lack of better words, infused with extra caffeine, extra energy. All right, at least that's what the packaging and sales pitches would have you believe. It only comes pre-ground. Okay, so normally I like ground the whole beans and I grind it myself. This stuff only comes pre-ground. I suspect they're controlling a couple different grind sizes, so they're getting the bag says 100% Arabica, so I know they're not putting any extra Robusta beans in there or anything like that, but they're probably playing around with different grind sizes to get a little more caffeine kick per scoop per se. But great flavor. This is a high test. As soon as you drink it, you can tell it's almost like sprinkling pre-workout into your coffee, but it tastes like coffee. And I've never had pre-workout. Well, I'll take that back. I did have a shot or two of pre-workout in my past that a sponsor wanted me to try, but generally yeah, that's what it tastes like, coffee, but there's extra kick in it. It's good. It's not an everyday coffee for me. I probably definitely would have been drinking this on competition days when I was training as a professional shot putter. So, coffee, mug, on to our topic, track clinics. If you've been following Rodhe Sports social media, you'll know that we are hosting Jolly Big Throws Clinic in Youngstown, Ohio. Okay, we're going to be at the Field House at Youngstown State University on December 21st. Okay, it's 1-day clinic. We're going to go all day. Start time is going to be around 8, and we're going to go into 6 p.m. Right now, we just have the clinic. We will probably be adding in competitions as well. Okay, indoor high school discus competition, maybe some elite athlete shot put discus competitions, something like that. All right, so stay tuned to social media. We have early bird registration goes through Halloween, regular registration, which guarantees a t-shirt, goes through Thanksgiving, and then last call registration up through the day of. We got pages up on the website, so go out and check out all the details. We're hoping to put out a lot more content regarding what's going to be going on and the type of atmosphere at the clinic, okay? When I do events, when I make products, I don't mess around. If it's worth doing, I'll do it, and if it's not, I just leave it on the floor, okay? So I firmly believe that this is a fantastic clinic. This clinic is an extension from the last 4 years. We had the Big Throw Clinic in Allendale, Michigan at Grand Valley State University. Okay, it was up there. We had a great turnout. We had lots of elite athletes coming in, fantastic coaches and lectures, and just people rave about their experience in the last 4 years up there. So today we had a lot of people saying that they wanted to come to Michigan, but it was a little too far for them to travel, and it was a little bit harder to get to than Ohio, and so we're going to move it down to Ohio, much more accessible, and we're really excited to have a lot of people come out. Back to my beginning with track camps, okay? Probably not unlike a lot of other high schoolers and youngsters, their first track camp. This was back before email was a real big thing, and my track coach got a flyer in the mail from Kent State University. My high school is about half an hour from Kent State, and he got this flyer and he just walked over and handed it to me and said, "Hey, I think you might really like this. You might want to go do it." This was my sophomore year, I think. I was a sophomore, and that was a great camp. How it was set up was you went like Monday, Wednesday, 5 sessions across 2.5 weeks, and you show up for 2 hours and you do a warm-up, and then you get shown a few drills, and then you're allowed to throw, and you just throw, and they coach you, and you just throw for 5 days in a row over 2.5 weeks, and it gave you time to practice on your own and come back better the next time. And I really like that pace. I use that structure for my summer clinics now. I really enjoyed my time there. That was my very first camp experience. Really enjoyed it. And then later in high school, I did another clinic, and this was a 1-day clinic, kind of long. I think maybe a 4 or 5 hour on a weekend kind of thing. And they just put like over 100 athletes in a gym and had you do drills on gym lines. And there wasn't an implement to be seen the entire time, and no lunch provided, and it was just like, sit here, do drills, thanks for taking my money kind of thing. And that really put a sour taste in my mouth. I didn't think that was a very fair representation of what was out there for throwing, right? So I was in high school, and then went to college. My sophomore year in college, NTCA, National Throws Coaches Association, was doing clinics out of Columbus, Ohio. And I went down sophomore, junior, senior year, 3 years in a row, and it was fantastic. They had the entire bottom level of the Marriott in Columbus rented out. They had 4 lecture rooms, and they had vendors all over the lobby. And how it ran was, I think there was like 4 or 5 sessions in a day, and they were running 4 lectures at a time. So when you went, you had a whole list of all these lectures, and you had to pick and choose who you were going to go see during each hour. And I went into those sessions, and that was the first time I saw people like Brian Oldfield and Mac Wilkins and John Powell and Mike Carter and LJ Sylvester and Al Order and Tom Petronoff, Koji Murafushi, Judd Logan, Nathan Fanger. I probably should have written down all the names. John Smith, Louis Simmons, just huge names in the sport. And I was kind of wet behind the ears. I didn't really know who these people were. I kind of knew, but getting there, being in front of them, watching them move, hearing them talk was a mind-blowing experience for me. And it really showed me by demonstration and by saturation, right, and atmosphere osmosis of these were men and women who had done the best things in the sport possible, and they were still working in the sport. And there's things that you can learn from people in person that you would never pick up in a textbook or in a video of how they carry themselves, how they talk, how they, what their experiences were really like, and what made them tough enough to perform the way they did. and to make the achievements that they had. And I would go into these lectures, and they were like an hour long, and I had a yellow legal pad, and I would just page after page after page after page. Every year I left with over 20 pages of legal pad notes from these clinics. And it was, now I run clinics now, and I have kids show up and not a single one has a pen and paper, right? They just show up with their phone, and like they're just gonna sit there and listen, and they don't want to take any notes, and that's something that if you're gonna go learn, you wouldn't go to class without a pen and paper. Certainly you wouldn't want to go hear an Olympian talk, or a coach who's had people at the Olympics talk, without having at least some type of pen and paper to write things down. You're not going to be able to type great notes on your phone. So NTCA, and there were a lot of people putting that project together. They had the Hall of Fame breakfasts, and that's where I met a lot of the we'll say the old timers, right, from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, and that was just a really fantastic event. Rob Sosa, MF Athletic, I know, were the big sponsors for that event. I really hope they bring that back and start doing some more. Years later, they would go for a few years and then take a few years break, and then went for a few more years. And I was lucky enough in 2014, they invited me to come and be a speaker. So I got to be, an attendee, and then towards the end of my professional career, I came back and I gave 2 lectures, which was nice for me. It was kind of a nice, way to bookend my career, and to come back to the grassroots of this clinic that had started my exposure to the elite level. I remember the very first lecture I gave, professional lecture that I ever gave in my life. I'm queuing up my PowerPoint, and in walks Mac Wilkins, in walks John Smith, in walks, there were some other people there. I can't remember right now, but the big one I remember. John Smith walking in and sitting down. I was like, oh shit, it's all right. Don't mess up, the real deal's here to watch you talk, even though now that, I got to watch him talk over the years. So that was a fun experience. Now, another thing that those clinics did for me was they exposed me to travel, okay? Without a team, without a coach, right? In college, we were traveling a bit, and you go to hotels, and you have to eat out and perform on the road and stuff. And but when you go and do that kind of thing on your own, it's a little different. And those clinics, now it was only like a 2-hour drive for me from Mount Union to Columbus. And, I was only staying 2 nights, and I had an aunt that lived in the city, and so I got to crash at her place. And but it was a precursor to the travel that I would do as a professional. And it was a nice kind of little tester zone to expose me for, the skill sets required later on in life. And even if you're not going to be a professional athlete, but just to be able to navigate a downtown city, navigate parking, get a hotel room, and, plan your food for the day, make sure you have all your gear, and do all that stuff on your own, right? It's a little different than when you're with a team and a coach. So another thing at the clinics, the NTCA clinics, was some were just lecture style, and then other ones were learn by do, where we'd get implements out and throw them in the hotel rooms, in the hotel, lobby there, and I remember doing hammer winds and people doing fast turns, and Koji having people throw a fishing net and all kinds of stuff, right? And so it was a sit-down lecture and learn by do, and this integrates to the Jolly Big Throws Clinic, okay, that we're putting on. I firmly believe that let's see if we can not spill this. A little dribble, okay, not bad. I firmly believe that you need to have some type of formal lecture for information uptake at clinics, as well as self-exploration time and structured learn by do, and watching other people move and you moving. Okay, multifaceted learning styles, right? So everybody can get something out of it. It's not just one gear, right? Now we've got 4 speakers coming in. We're going to do at least 3 lectures, maybe 4. We're also going to do a guest coaches panel. Right? We're going to put 4 or 5 people up on the stage, and people can ask any questions they want. We'll tell stories back and forth, and probably nitpick a little bit, and friendly rivalries and that kind of thing. But so you're going to get 3 or more 45-minute sit-down lectures where you're going to have whiteboard, PowerPoint, video, exercise demonstrations right there in front of you. And then it's going to be, we're going to break out. You're going to have 4 throwing sessions, okay? They're going to be like 45 minutes long, and everyone, you might get a little bit of technical stuff for like 5 or 10 minutes maybe, but the bulk of it is you're going to throw, and that elite coach, that experienced coach is going to watch you throw and give you cues based on what you need, right? It's not going to be a ton of just line drills and everybody practices one little thing. No, you come to Jolly Big Throws, you're going to throw. You're going to throw shot, you're going to throw disc, and you're going to throw the weight. And you're going to throw it as many times as you can, and you're going to get direct feedback from an experienced high-level coach of what you as an individual need to be fixing or changing. Right, and that's, I'm not going to say it's different than every clinic out there, but it's certainly different than a lot of clinics out there, right? And especially if you're going to take into consideration lectures, multiple instructors, throwing sessions, plus the possibility of us having elite throwers come in and watching an elite shot put competition, elite discus competition. So Jolly Big Throws. Check us out. It is a culmination of all the clinic experiences, all the training experiences, and all the travel experiences I've had. And I want to bring that high level and expose young athletes, grassroots athletes, to a bigger world, okay? Also, clinics not just for high school kids, it's for college kids, high school coaches, college coaches, masters athletes. I think masters athletes would get a great time out of this clinic. I think being around so many people with information, as a master's thrower, you typically are alone, right? Come on down with lots of people and get exposure and, talk with some great athletes, some good coaches. I think it'll be a fantastic day. So until next time, everybody, let's keep our drinkware a bit on the heavier, bigger side, eh?